2024 president. Let me cut that out of there real quick. All right. Let's begin this evening by recognizing the colors. Bruno, please post. Repeat after me. If you would, I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America and
and
to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, we got that part out of the way. Those of you that weren't here last time. All right, next slide, if you will. All right, before I start the introductions this evening, I have a short update for you. I'm very excited to say that this is our last Zoom meeting. That doesn't mean Stephen and you guys are out of the picture. It's just no more Zooms. City Club is back. Our April dinner meeting is in person at the Huntington Library. This is one of our signature events, and it's an exclusive, beautiful venue. It will be our first in-person meeting in several years. When I say City Club is back, I mean we're up and fully running after a substantial setback August 2023. And I need to thank 2023 and 24 board of directors and several other club members that has helped us get back to this point. We'll now be having dinner meetings, in-person dinner meetings, and we have some exceptional speakers lined up this year. May 21st, Tuesday, we're back at the newly remodeled City Center. I'm excited about that. And our guest speaker is Terry Dobson, professor of design studies at APU and a former Disney Imagineer. Should be a fun, kind of cool presentation. June is RFS Fiesta at the Old Mill. And the 4th of July, we're back at the Pavilion in Lacey Park. Looking forward to those. There's others as well. Some of you may have been asking about City Club dues. Invoices will be going out the 1st of April. Because of the interruption this year, we've hesitated, and the board of directors has voted to reduce the dues this year to $100. It is absolutely the best deal in town. Dinner and a speaker. All right, what you see, next slide. What you see on the screen are our past presidents. If you look real close, you'll see me right in the middle. Thank you all for your participation, your past participation in San Marino City Club. Next. This is your board of directors. These are the guys that keep the club going day after day and working on the events and making them fabulous. These guys are all jumping in and doing a great job this year. I'm proud of you all. Next. Our city council members. Thank you, thank you. You do a great job. A lot of personal time, a lot of work behind the scenes. Thank you for all the efforts you give the city. Next. City officials. These guys keep everything going behind the scenes with their staff working on making things in the city great. We're looking forward to events coming up and things that they're working on. Next. The Unified School District, San Marino Unified Board of Education. These guys are tireless members as well, and they make our schools fabulous. Thank you, thank you. Next. I'd like to, oh, here we are, more. These are the actual officials. Okay, this is perfect, thank you. I don't know why I missed that slide. Keep going, one more. And what I'd like to do is thank all of those groups that we just went through for supporting San Marino City Club and for supporting the city. Thank you, thank you. All right, we have no new guests tonight, so we can skip to the next one. We do have a featured speaker, and this gets to be the exciting part, and that's not listening to me. Please click your mute button wherever it is down at the bottom of your screen. I think it's in the lower left, so we don't get any odd sounds or feedback during the presentation. I'd like to ask Hunter Chan to present our speaker this evening. Hunter, take it away.
Okay, thanks, Pete. Good evening. We are honored to have Dr. Linda Della Torre as our featured speaker. Dr. Della Torre was named the permanent superintendent of San Marino Unified School District on June 28, 2022. Dr. Della Torre has worked in the district since 1989 when she was hired to work in the accounting department. In 1998, she took over as coordinator of human resources and quickly advanced to director of HR and assistant superintendent of HR. In 2019, she was named assistant superintendent of administrative services and served as second in command to then superintendent Dr. Wilson. Dr. Della Torre and her husband Angel have two children, Nathaniel and Damien, who attended San Marino schools and graduated from San Marino High School. She graduated from Azusa Pacific with a bachelor's degree in organizational management and business administration and a master's degree in organizational leadership and business administration, and added a doctorate in educational leadership from USC. Tonight, Dr. Della Torre will unravel the latest updates and exciting developments within San Marino Unified School District. So without further ado, Dr. Linda Della Torre.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chang. I really appreciate that lovely and warm introduction. And thank you, Pete, for taking the helm at City Club and doing the wonderful work that you are doing for the second time. So thank you so much. Good evening again, and welcome City Club members and guests. My name, as mentioned before, is Linda Della Torre, and I'm the proud superintendent of the San Marino Unified School District. I'm delighted to be here this evening to present the current state and future outlook of the San Marino Unified School District. So without further ado, Dr. Choi, if you'll pull up the presentation, we will delve into the key areas that we're going to be covering today. Next time. Okay, thank you so much. So what we're going to talk about this evening is a brief introduction of our wonderful and amazing, hardworking District Board of Education. We're going to talk about the Board of Education's goals for the 2023-24 school year. I will go into a brief introduction of district leaders. We'll talk about the 4 A's, which are academics, arts, athletics, and activities for all students. We're going to discuss student wellness and mental health. I'm going to talk a little bit about the new programs that we have implemented within our school district, and I'm going to delve into facilities and infrastructure and what our plans are long term. I'm also going to talk about financial planning, and I will give you some information I think you will find valuable in better understanding that we are fiscally solvent and what our long-term financial plans are for the future. And then we're going to close out with a conversation about diversity, equity, and inclusion. And then I'm going to let you hear from our wonderful students with a short video. And then we'll entertain any questions that any of you have. So with that, let's go to the next slide. So it is my honor and pleasure to introduce our esteemed District Board of Education, comprising dedicated individuals really committed to the success and well-being of all of our students. I cannot tell you how hard each one of these individuals works on your behalf. As you are aware, they are elected officials who are working to serve the interests of our students and our community. So they represent all of the voters in the city of San Marino with respect to education. Their tireless efforts drive the vision and the mission of our school district, ensuring that every decision that they make is in the best interest of our students and, by extension, our community. So let's start with our wonderful president, and that is Mrs. Shelley Ryan, and I believe she's here with us today. And I can't see everyone who's here, so I apologize if I don't mention that you are here. And then our wonderful vice president, C. Joseph Chang, our wonderful clerk, Francesca Gill, our amazing member, Joanna Lamb, and our wonderful member, Jane Chon. So let's go to the next slide, please. So as I mentioned, the Board of Education annually develops their goals for the preceding school year. And this year, there was a big focus on safety and wellness, fiscal health and sustainability, and developing a culture of service, value, and appreciation. And what I say is we want to be the Nordstroms of school districts in terms of providing the best opportunities to serve our students, our teachers, our parents, and our community. And the board also had a strong focus on creating global citizens amongst our students. And I can talk a little bit about what that means later on in the presentation. Next slide. So I'm also honored to introduce to all of you my wonderful executive team. And I can tell you that in the 35 years that I have served this school district in this community, this has been the most dynamic team I think we've ever been able to put together at the district office. So I'm very proud of each one of them, their contributions to the whole, and just their work ethic and the fact that they care so deeply about every single student and their individual needs. And I'm going to start with Dr. Lena Richter. She is our Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services. And then, of course, you all know Dr. Stephen Choi. He is our Chief Technology Officer, and he does so much more than that. And we're so grateful for his support and service. He was instrumental in getting the school district through the period of time that everyone recalls, and that is COVID. When we were moving through the pandemic, he really did help us to pivot to virtual learning for all of our students. So thank you, Dr. Choi. And then next is Dr. Michael Lin. And Dr. Lin, as you all know, was a school site principal at Carver Elementary for 6 years before we promoted him to the position of Chief Business Official at the school district, and he's been doing a great job. Then we have Dr. Jason Rose. Dr. Jason Rose has been an educator, a school site principal. He has been in human resources for several years, came from Rosemead Unified, and prior to that was at Temple City. He's doing a wonderful job in human resources, and that is Dr. Jason Rose. Next slide, please. And I would be remiss in not introducing to you our amazing, hardworking, boots on the ground principals at each one of our schools. And I'm going to start with San Marino High School's principal, Dr. Ben Wolf, who is a very experienced principal. We hired him away from Glendale Unified School District, and he has 18 years of experience as a principal. So when Dr. Wolf joined our team at San Marino High School, he was able to hit the ground running and really get in and start doing the work right away, which we are very grateful for. And Mrs. Mary Hazlett is our Huntington Middle School interim principal. She has worked very hard at Huntington Middle School this year. She was promoted from her position as assistant principal to that of interim principal for this year. And Mrs. Hazlett has a long, wonderful resume in education. She's worked in some high-performing school districts. She understands the community that we serve. She loves the kids, and she is just a rock star. So we're so grateful to have her in that position. Dr. Stuart Caldwell is the principal at Carver Elementary School, very experienced administrator as well. He has had a noteworthy career. He actually studied law before, and so he has his JD, but he has really invested his career in education and has worked in a lot of other school districts, and we're so pleased to have him with us. And he loves those kids at Carver, loves the teachers, loves the parents, and is just doing a great job. Mrs. Whitney McAlpine is our Valentine Elementary School principal. Whitney actually attended San Marino schools. So she is very unique in that regard. She's very acclimated to this community. She went to Carver, interestingly enough, and then Huntington Middle School, but then her family moved away and she attended high school in Orange County. But it's very nice to have her come back home and be a part of our leadership team at Valentine Elementary School. Next slide. So as you all are aware, I'm so proud of our school district. We are a high-performing school district, and we are a recognized leader in, as I mentioned earlier, the 4 A's: academics, arts, athletics, and activities. Currently, we have 2,949 students enrolled in our schools. Every single one of our schools is a California Distinguished School and a National Blue Ribbon School, which I am very proud of. We have, as you know, 4 schools, 2 elementary, 1 middle, and 1 high school. And I just want to say that we have increased our enrollment this year, primarily at the elementary schools. But as many of you know, that is how we receive our funding. It is based on the average daily attendance of our students. So having enrollment go up is a wonderful problem to have, especially at the elementary, because that means that we are building for the future. As those kiddos matriculate up, we will have more stability in our system. You may or may not be aware that many of the surrounding school districts currently are closing. Pasadena closed several schools. Pasadena is laying off 200 employees. Currently, they are declining in enrollment. They created some positions during the pandemic with the one-time funds that they received, and now that the one-time funds have been pulled back, there's not an ongoing stream of revenue to be able to support those positions, and therefore they're faced with that. San Marino is not in that situation, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that when we get to the budget section of this presentation. Next slide. So the 4 A's, as I mentioned, academics, very strong academics in San Marino across all grade levels. We have arts education at all 4 schools. Athletics, we have a very strong athletic program at both Huntington Middle School and San Marino High School. We have managed to build a really good, solid feeder program. We have wonderful athletic partners in our community, like Little League and San Marino Community Athletics Association. We really do value our relationship with all of those organizations and our partnerships. And then activities, we have outdoor education opportunities. Our choir on occasion travels overseas with our kids to perform. I think that last year they might have gone to Paris to perform, and they have wonderful opportunities in San Marino. We have great clubs for kids to participate in. A very robust program is offered to all students at all levels. Next slide. So when we talk about wellness in terms of the support that we're providing to our students, we're so fortunate in that over the last several years, we've had the opportunity through the generosity of some of our community members and our board members to create 2 wellness centers. We have a wellness center at San Marino High School that our students can drop in and get some support and counseling services if they're feeling stressed out or depressed, or if they're having an issue that they're struggling with. We have the ability for referrals to the wellness center. So teachers can make referrals if they notice that maybe a student just isn't themselves lately, if something's going on at home. Parents can make referrals. Students can refer other students to the wellness center. It is a wonderful program. Our kids at times can be under a lot of pressure and stress, and to have an opportunity for them to receive this support on the school campus in a safe space is really incredible. And we're so grateful that our community has supported that endeavor. We have a robust program of internships. So we have MFT, marriage family therapy therapists. They have to do so many hours as an intern before they can get completely licensed. And we have a very experienced individual at the high school who is overseeing these interns at both Huntington Middle School and San Marino High School. So our students are benefiting from receiving services from all of those individuals. And I wanted to talk about some of the things that our educational services department is doing to help students as well. We are providing professional development to our teachers in the areas that you see up on the screen on the left-hand side: multi-tiered systems of support, universal design for learning, which is really like differentiated instruction, meeting students where they're at, positive behavioral interventions and supports, which we fondly refer to as PBIS, and restorative practices, which really helps to teach students empathy for others. So instead of just having punitive measures in place, we will bring students who may be accused of bullying another child. We bring them together with the alleged victim, and they sit down and they have a discussion about how it impacted that person and how it hurt them in some way. And it really does build empathy and understanding amongst our student body. And so I think that this is really making a positive difference throughout our school system. And then in the middle, post-pandemic, everyone was talking about learning regression and all the things that we as a school district needed to do to bridge that gap. And so we had a committee come together, and they decided that they were going to select iReady, which is an assessment system that develops a customized plan for students to be on to get caught up to where they need to be. And I will tell you that San Marino really didn't have the learning regression that a lot of neighboring school systems were suffering through. And so we're very pleased to say that our kiddos are doing really, really well post-pandemic, and our test scores are going up. So that's great. We have a wonderful diversity, equity, and inclusion program throughout our schools, and extends to our hiring practices. Also, we have a wonderful community-wide program led by Kelly Ryan, and they meet here in the boardroom, I believe, once a month. So if you're interested in that, reach out to Kelly Ryan. He has a lot of information on that. We welcome everyone to attend. And then, of course, we've provided strategic interventions and extended learning opportunities for all students through tutoring services. We have summer learning, and I'll talk about the other programs that we've added a little bit later. So next slide. So I just wanted to share with everyone some of the work that we have done in making positive changes and moving the needle forward, especially at the secondary. We have in front of you a bell schedule, and we went from a traditional high school schedule to block scheduling. And that was a big shift for us. And we had talked about it for many, many years, never decided to do it, but it really does prepare our kids for learning at the college level. Because colleges have a very similar schedule. It provides more opportunities for project-based learning in the classrooms than ever before, because there's more time in the block schedule for teachers to really get in there and work with kids, and for them to be able to engage in meaningful activities. So we're super pleased that that has been fully implemented, and that we have heard nothing but high praise from all stakeholders on the block schedule. In addition, we have a strong partnership with PCC and a dual enrollment program that is just fantastic. Our kids are able to earn college credit for taking courses that are taught on our high school campus during the school day for medical arts, and then after the school day for the other opportunities that we've provided. We have more AP courses at our high school than Arcadia does, and Arcadia has 3 times the number of students that we do. So we're super proud of that. Strong community partnerships are essential to the health and continuation of us being able to do these things. I mentioned earlier, we have strong arts program. We have a collaboration between the high school and middle school for Arts Rock, which is a wonderful showcase of all the different elements of arts that we have in our district. We have started a move up day, which is the 8th graders coming from Huntington Middle School to the high school. They can tour the high school. Our high school students serve as mentors and walk them around and introduce them to the campus. And I think that makes 8th graders who might be nervous about coming up to the high school feel more safe and familiar, and that's wonderful. We have the same program for kiddos that are coming from the elementary to the middle school. We have Titan tours, so for families who are interested in enrolling their children or their students in San Marino schools, we have student-led tours, which I think is very powerful and impactful. We also have strong student leadership opportunities at all of our schools. CTE stands for Career Technical Education, and we really are looking at what we can do to strengthen our CTE offerings to students. We just started a Superintendent Student Advisory Council that meets once a month, comprised of 23 students at the high school that applied and were selected to serve. And it really does help to elevate student voice. So we're listening to what the kids believe that, are issues that we need to address, things that we need to look at, things that we can do better to support them going forward. And I'm just so impressed with the caliber of kids that are in that program. Then on the right-hand side, we have also highlighted just the board goals as well, and the medical arts program, which was implemented this year. So our medical arts program is a collaboration with PCC and is taught by PCC instructors primarily, and kids are getting college credit for those courses. And you can see on the screen that we have option 1, which is grades 9, Intro to Health Science, and a CTE elective, grade 10, Human Disease, Medical Terminology, grade 11, Intro to Kinesiology, Human Anatomy, and AP Seminar. And then in 12th grade, AP Research. And I will tell you that what we are doing with the help of C. Joseph Chang and others in our community, we're working on an internship with USC and other hospitals and medical facilities in the area, so that our students will have an opportunity to do some volunteer work and internship in the field. Option 2, Intro to Health Science, CTE elective, Human Disease, Medical Terminology, AP Seminar, Intro to Kinesiology, Human Anatomy, and AP Research. So this program is just, it's fantastic. And I want to thank PT affiliates for donating $400,000, which allowed us to buy anatomage tables. So we have the latest and greatest technology that our students are able to use that is typically only found in medical schools in the nation. And these are machines that doctors are using in their offices to practice surgeries. They're, found in medical schools, as I mentioned, and we have them at the high school. And our kids really, they're so intuitive. They know how to work them. They're able to do all kinds of wonderful things. And then Rotary donated money for us to purchase virtual reality goggles and software that allows our students to go through a simulated operation or surgery. And you put these goggles on and it transports you into an operating room, and you have something in your hand, an instrument in your hand, so you can feel yourself picking up an instrument from the table. And actually it will highlight on the virtual patient where you're to make the incision, and it steps you through it step by step. And so you're actually, as a high school student, able to perform a surgery the way a surgeon would in an operating room. It's pretty amazing technology. And that is something that doctors are using in their offices to practice for these surgeries. So I'm really happy that our community rallied around the kids and they were able to provide that. Next slide. Another program that is new to the school district this year is our elementary Mandarin dual language immersion program. So we were able to implement this program, and Dr. Lena Richter was instrumental in really putting this together for our school district in collaboration with the teachers at Carver Elementary School, and the association, the union, was very supportive of this new program. It started in kindergarten, and it's a 50-50 model. So 50% of the students in the program are native speakers and 50% are not. And we have a teacher who is teaching in Mandarin 50% of the day, and the other teacher is teaching in English. So it is just a wonderful program. It's been highly successful. We hired a first grade teacher who teaches in Mandarin. We took her away from South Pasadena. I'm super excited about that. I'm sure the superintendent isn't. And we're ready for first grade. We've already got kids enrolled, so that's fantastic. Next slide. Facilities and infrastructure. So our facilities are aging. Some of our facilities are in very bad shape, and you can see the images that I have on the screen here really demonstrate that. And most of the images that I have here are water damage, because we've had some torrential rains, not just this year, but the past year. We had major flooding at Huntington Middle School that took out an electrical panel. The damage was in excess of about $500,000, which we did not have funds in our budget for, and we could not have predicted that. We could not have prevented that. You can see that we have, infrastructure is crumbling in some areas, and we have a lot of leaks. And surprisingly, Carver's library, which is one of the newer, and I say that, relatively speaking, newer facilities in our school district, and we have some pretty severe leaks in that building that we need to take care of. And recently, you may have seen something in the San Marino Tribune, and if you drive up Huntington Drive, you can see there's a big hole on the lawn in front of the high school. And we had a pipe that tree roots grew into that caused us to have to shut the water off for a full day at San Marino High School so that we could repair that. And we still haven't been able to completely finish that project, but we have the water up and running again, so that's good. I just wanted everybody to know that we have created, and this was the Board of Education, their leadership, they have appointed a Facilities Advisory Committee, which is a board-appointed committee made up of parents, staff, and community members that work in close collaboration with an architectural firm that we have just hired, LPA. And they are a very respected firm. They do design and planning, and they're going to be doing a needs assessment and a facilities master plan. And the facilities master plan is being created based on the board's vision for the future. What is education going to look like in San Marino 10, 15, 20 years from now? And how can our facilities help to support that? One of the things that we talked about and highlighted, flexible learning spaces, right? During the pandemic, we learned that air quality in classrooms is exceedingly important. In addition to that, outdoor learning spaces are also very important. So we have a facilities master plan that will be introduced this evening during the FAC meeting that's going to start at 7 p.m. And this work will help guide our district in planning for future. We don't get funds from the state to help support our facility, so we have to rely on bonds or deferred maintenance money, and deferred maintenance money doesn't go a long way. So we're going to wait and see what the architects give to the Facilities Advisory Committee, but the Facilities Advisory Committee may or may not recommend to the Board of Education that they go out for bond in November. They have not made a decision on that as of yet. We are meeting with community members and stakeholders. We've had 2 town halls so far to solicit the input from all of our community. We have had meetings with the FAC monthly, at minimum, tours. They've toured the inside of our schools, and you'll be getting a mailer probably within the next week or so that really talks about all the work that the Facilities Advisory Committee has done. So if you would like more information about this process, you can go to our website and look for Facilities Master Planning. It should be under the Business Services Division. And if you go in the search field and just type in Facilities Master Planning, you'll get all the information you need. Next slide. Partnerships. So community engagement. The school district relies heavily on community engagement, and we're so fortunate to have such a great partnership with all of these organizations that you see on the screen. As I mentioned, Rotary has been very generous with our students and our schools and our programs. We have a great partnership with Caltech. Caltech professors and graduate students are helping our kids. Our kids have the opportunity to work collaboratively with them and do research, which is wonderful. PCC, I talked about that. We have a humanities program and class that studies at the Huntington. It is a wonderful opportunity for students. Right at School is a great partner that provides before and after school daycare. San Marino City Club, thank you so much for this opportunity. Great partner. Chinatown Service Center, better known as CSC. We have a great relationship with San Marino PD, and San Marino Fire keeps all of our kids and staff safe and prepared for any emergency that comes up. We're so grateful to Chief Rueda and Chief Encontro. The city manager, Philippe Escandar, has been amazing in terms of his communication and his outreach. I'm so grateful to him and to the city council for all of their support and their willingness to work with the school district. Partnership for Awareness, who really helps educate parents on situations and things that they need to be aware of in order to help parent their children. Chinese Club and Chinese School, great partner. We really have worked very collaboratively with them. We're grateful for their generosity and support of our school district as well. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. Next slide. So here's where the rubber meets the road for us. As you know, San Marino Unified School District is one of the lowest funded public schools in the state of California. And that is because of the population that we serve. The state's funding formula is called the LCFF, Local Control Funding Formula. And it is based on your socioeconomic status or demographics, the population that you serve. So if you have, 55% of your students or more would qualify for free and reduced lunch, then you get extra funding, a lot of extra funding. We don't qualify for that. So we get primarily, just funding for enrollment or average daily attendance. So if kids are absent a lot, that might affect our funding for the year. So we don't just get a flat amount based on the number of kids we have enrolled. We get an amount based on the number of days they attend school. So that's really important as well. So you can see our beginning balance for the budget. And this came directly from our second interim report, which was just provided to the Board of Education in their open session meeting a couple weeks ago. So the beginning balance was 23 million. Projected ending balance is 16 million, reserved for economic uncertainties. And this is a requirement for school districts to have at least a 3% reserve. It's 1.8 million, and you can see that that's not a lot of money. 3% doesn't go very far when it comes to our payroll. And then we have school site carryover, 3.8 million. And now I want to delve into something that is really the difference maker for our schools. During the pandemic, we had a lot of one-time funds that came from the state and the federal governments. We chose to be very conservative about how those monies were spent, and we did spend a lot of that money in a way that allowed us to save our general fund money. So most of that money was restricted for certain purposes. I'll give you an example. We got ESSER funds from the federal government, and we needed to use that money to improve air quality in the classrooms. So we're replacing HVAC systems at both Huntington and Valentine. Those are the oldest systems that we have in the district. So we were able to use that money instead of having to go into our general fund to pay for that. So the Board of Education, in their infinite wisdom, allowed the school district to develop reserves, if you will, for specific areas, and we call them committed funds. So we have a future fiscal stabilization fund of $2 million. And this again is one-time money, not ongoing. Committed balance cash flow reserve for $2 million. Committed balance future COP payments. We have 1.5 million in that account. And the COP payments relate to the Barth Athletics Complex because we're still making payments on that building. And then the committed balance for declining enrollment, should our enrollment continue to decline like it is in many neighboring school districts, we have 2.5 million to offset that. So this is about $8 million that we have in total that the board allowed us to set aside, which is helping to keep us afloat, even during an economic downturn. As you are aware, the state budget has a deficit of anywhere between 32 billion and 78 billion, depending on whether you're talking to the legislative analyst's office or the governor. So we know that the COLA that we're getting this year, which is cost of living allowance, is going to be about 0.76, and that could go down even more at the May revise, depending on what the governor comes back with. And we will do another presentation in May to the board. But we are fiscally solvent, and the state of our financial affairs is strong this year because of the planning that the Board of Education has done, because of our wonderful staff and how they have managed our money in a very conservative way. So I'm really proud of the fact that we're not having to lay anybody off in this current climate when you have this really large state budget deficit. So that is all good news. Next slide. I talked about DEI a little bit earlier, and I just, want everybody to know that the Board of Education supports diversity, equity, inclusion, provides safe spaces for all students and employees. Back in 2019, I believe it was, the Board of Education adopted a resolution committing the district to providing safe spaces and really working on diversity, equity, and inclusion. We had a consultant who was working with the school district during the pandemic. And it was very powerful. All of our employees have received training, and we continue to strive to do an even better job in this area. So we are looking at curriculum in the future that is going to help educate students on ethnic studies. And that is going to be folded into social science, but we'll talk about history and, sensitivity to people who don't look like us. And that is really, really important. So next slide. Okay, so there's nothing more powerful than hearing from the kids themselves. So I just want you guys to, and I know it's 6:42, but I just want you to see what the kids have to say about our schools. Stephen? Oh, can't hear the volume. There's no sound, Steve.
The thing I like about Carver the most is that I get to see my friends a lot.
The thing I like best about Carver is learning.
Well, what I really love about Valentine is that all of the teachers, they're really nice and they make sure that you can understand the things they teach in class, and they always come up with fun activities to help students understand the lesson. I like making new friends at school.
Hey Lizzie, my name is Kelly. The thing I like most about being at Carver is the field trip. And the thing I like about Carver is us learning about math.
Hello, my name is Annabelle Stenvig, and the thing that I love most about Valentine Elementary is the teachers and their helpfulness in guiding us through our educational life.
My name is Annabelle Chang. Something I like most about Valentine is that we have PE every day and we have really fun assemblies. My name is Flo Slavin, and something that I love about Valentine is that everybody connects, and it's basically like a big caring family. Hi, my name is Samantha Shim, and the thing I like best about Carver is when we can meet new friends.
Hi, my name is John Yuxel, and the thing I like best about Carver are the kind teachers. Hi, my name is Lucas Aronite, and the best thing I like about Carver are the teachers that give us great knowledge.
Hi, my name is Courtney Lynn, and the thing I like about Carver is that the choice to make free choices. My name is Lorraine, and I like recess because I have so much fun and I like to learn new things. Hello, my name is Jack, and I really like learning on my computer and are really nice teachers that make me a better reader. Hi, my name is Allison. thing I like best about Carver is that the teachers are very kind and the students are very easy to make friends with.
My name is Jeremy Chen, and my favorite thing about Valentine is that we have so many extracurricular activities, such as fifth grade band and orchestra, art class, and music class, and we go on so many field trips throughout the school year.
My name is Robert Chen, and one of my favorite things about Valentine Elementary is all the amazing kids and all the amazing teachers.
My name is Presley. The thing I love about the school is that is my principal and how it's so clean.
My name is Madison and Carver is art class. My name is Addison and I like how many activities we have at recess. My name is Ashley and I love learning about math.
What I love about Huntington Middle School is the community, my friends, the administration, the campus, the after-school sports, and all the nice teachers and all the nice people here. What we love about Huntington Middle School is
And all our teachers like but we also get to do like fun activities.
I love the music classes. Choir is amazing, and I love like Huntington has like field festival later.
And flags. I have like 3 different flags and some of my lunchtime and some of our system.
Hello, everybody. I'm Marino. I'm a campus. We are 6th grade students at Huntington Middle School in San Marino. Yes. What we love about our school is that every day when we come, we're always excited to see our friends. And, you know, me and Phil, we love our teachers and we love, we love learning and we love, new things. And every time we come to our school, it's like a new adventure and it's like also there's new things every single day. You might do one thing on Monday and another thing on Tuesday. That's what we love about it.
Well, we love I'd like to support people around the campus and have to make great friends. And we also love
I love all the teachers and all the students and all the athletics and coaches are amazing.
My name is Helena Miller, and I'm a junior here at San Marino High School. And some of my favorite things about being here at San Marino is we have really good arts departments, including chamber choir and dance company, and we have a phenomenal marching band.
Hi, my name is Ethan Song and I'm a senior at San Marino High School. And one thing I really like about San Marino is everyone here is very nice and the environment is really nice too. Also our school is known for our academic excellence and everyone's here is super studious. Overall I really enjoy it and I think it's one of the best of it.
Hi, my name is Marco Rangel and I am in the 10th grade. And my favorite thing about San Marino is that the athletics are great and the academics are very challenging and a great tool for the next level.
Hi, my name is Jemima Stahl, and I'm a senior at San Marino High School. My favorite part about the school is my club, and we meet every week, sometimes 2 or 3 times. We have a lot of fun events, and we genuinely just love the relationships and just sharing these values together. Another favorite thing for me is just like the teachers and how supportive they are. We can go in during office hours and really just bond with them.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Choi, for taking us through that video. I really believe that student testimonials are so powerful. And so I just, what can I say? I'm so proud of our kids. I think we have the hardest working teachers and aides and staff, administrators in California. I really do. And we just, we tend to get great results. But I also think that our community really has a hand in making us the high-performing district that we are today. Without the community's continued support, without that partnership, without our parents and our grandparents, I just don't think that our district would be as high performing as it is today. So I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you, including my amazing staff, and entertain any questions you may have.
I have a question.
Sure.
It's regarding the enrollment of the ADUs. I know the city has been pushing for it, or the federal has been pushing on the affordable units for San Marino as far as housing. So I guess this may or may not be the platform to ask, but once an ADU goes in the San Marino, are the renters also able to have their kids attend San Marino School District as well?
Yes. Yes, because they
you.
would have a San Marino address. If you
Mhm.
physically reside within our district boundaries, you have the legal right to enroll your children.
Thank you.
Welcome. Any other questions?
Dr. De La Torre, this is John
Yes.
Chow. I'd like to ask you a question if I may.
Please.
Yes, first of all, thank you. Congratulations to you, your staff, the Board of Education, the principals, and all the teachers for not only meeting but exceeding the expectations of the parents of San Marino. So thank you very much for maintaining the high standards that we have all come to expect. My question is with regards to the election later this year. I believe that there is a school bond. Please tell us a little bit more about that. I don't think this is going to be the school bond that the facility advisory committee might be contemplating as far as a master plan is concerned. But I think this is also very important for us as the members of the San Marino City Club to understand and also to spread the message of why it's so important and that it might impact the school negatively if this bond is not passed.
Thank you for that question. I really appreciate that. We are in the process of deciding whether or not to recommend to the Board of Education to move forward with a bond measure, which would go on the ballot November 5th. Once the board makes that decision, and they haven't made it yet, but they're getting very close to that, then we would have a community campaign committee that would begin campaigning for the bond and pushing out into the community, working with many influential members of the community to gain support. At that point, once the board decides to move forward with a bond, the only thing that staff can do during our working hours is to provide factual information. We're not allowed to campaign unless it's on our own time, which we would be willing to do on our own time, Saturday, Sunday, after working hours. But we would have to make that distinction. So at this current time, the Facilities Advisory Committee is going to be meeting at 7 p.m., headed by Jeff Morris, who he's just amazing, and he's done a great job for us in this capacity. And we are going to be getting the project list from the architects. And this is all based on stakeholder input that has already taken place in the 2 town halls. So they developed a project list which will be shared with the FAC tonight. And there will be costs assigned to each one of those projects. And so the Facilities Advisory Committee will begin to work on prioritizing that list, which will be given to the Board of Education as a recommendation. The FAC is a nonpartisan body of stakeholders that is just coming together to do the research. So they're not going to have the final decision on the prioritization of the projects district-wide. The Board of Education will. But remember, the facilities master plan is for the future. So it's the board's facility vision for the future that we will use whether or not a bond is passed. But the passage of a bond is absolutely critical, in my opinion. I'm allowed to say that right now before the board passes that resolution. Having been here 35 years and having walked these campuses, they look very nice from Huntington Drive, but I encourage all of you to come and walk our campuses and see the underbelly of our classrooms and our school facilities. It's really, in some instances, I would use the word deplorable. It's not San Marino at all. And our kids deserve better. Our kids are their education is disrupted every time it rains in a classroom. and they have to be moved to another building. So there's just so many reasons why we need to really take care of our facilities and our infrastructure. It's really, really important. And I think what the board would be considering is a no tax increase bond, which means we would not be asking property owners to pay any more than they're already paying. So we'll see, you know, whether or not that comes to fruition and whether or not the Board of Education decides to move in that direction. There's going to be a lot of factors at play. But this is a conversation that we're going to continue to have with our community, and you all are stakeholders. This is your district. These are your schools. You know, staff will do whatever we need to do. We're going to make recommendations on what the needs are, but you guys decide, you know, how you want your schools to look.
Thank you for that. And I think that key part was the no increase, because it is something that the taxpayers are already paying. And so it's not like we're going to be paying, you know, additional amount. I don't know if any other questions. I actually do have another question I want to ask you, but I want to give others a chance to ask questions as well. So thank you very much, Dr. Delatorre.
Thank you, John. Any other questions, or does John get to go again?
Right here, go.
I have a question.
Yes.
So first of all, I want to thank you for that report and that presentation. I was thinking back through the whole thing of how my kids or my girls went through the entire San Marino district, from kindergarten all the way up to when they graduated. And it was very well done. I brought back a lot of memories.
Oh,
So
good.
my question is this, I know that there is a current environment where the enrollment has been declining. Is there a reason for that? And is that something that we can address in the future?
Great question. Very good question. So there's lots of factors that go into declining enrollment, which are not unique to San Marino. They're issues that the entire state of California is dealing with. The birth rate is the lowest it's been since the Great Depression. Babies are not being born. So the younger generations are not reproducing at the same rate and speed that, you know, older generations have reproduced. Like, I didn't know it was an option not to have kids. I just thought that that's what I was supposed to do and did, you know, and I think that many people in my generation did the same thing. But these kids are, and I have kids, and they tell me this, you know, a lot of their friends don't have kids because they are having way too much fun, which good for them, right? And they don't want, you know, to have the responsibility, and it is a big responsibility, as we all know, but not only that, it's expensive. California is one of the most expensive states to live in and to raise a child in. And I think that's what the younger generations are having to contend with as well. So birth rate is one. Housing costs is another factor. And this is all according to the Legislative Analyst's Office. You guys can read the report. It's all public information. And in Southern California, very, very expensive. Businesses are moving to other states. They're taking the employees and their families with them. They're all moving out. And so it's like just a cycle. And there are more people leaving the state than are coming in, but that's subject to change, right? And so that's what we're dealing with currently. What I will say is we are a district of choice. So the positive thing that we have going for us is that we are a very highly desirable district. So we can attract the best and the brightest students to our schools. And, you know, we're very particular about who, you know, we take. And it's been very successful. Our test scores continue to go up. Because I know there's been conversation about inter-district kids, right? And are they adding value? They're adding value. They're adding $7 million to our budget, and our test scores continue to go up. Our programs are thriving. So that is a wonderful thing. We've also added the grandparents legacy permit. So if you have grandchildren, we want you to enroll your grandchildren here. That's really important. And I mean, we have generations of families that are very, very involved in our schools, and we're so grateful for that. Mr. Morris, you're here and you're one, right? Your kids went to school here and your grandkids are going to school here, and you talk about 3 generations of amazingness. There it is. And so that is a wonderful thing, and we want to continue to have that happen. But thank you for asking that question. So encourage people to have kids.
Okay. Oh,
Thank
no.
you so much for that.
Okay. All right, John, did you want to ask your question or you want to call me later or?
Well, I know that there's a hard stop because there's an upcoming meeting. And so my takeaway from this great presentation is that I should probably attend more Board of Education meetings to get the latest information and not just wait for this one-time opportunity to hear
We would
from you.
love it if you all attended. We would absolutely invite you to attend our Board of Education meetings. Our board members are really hardworking and engaged. And you would get information hot off the press. And our door is always open to you. My door is always open to you. If you have questions, feel free to email me anytime, call me, drop by the office. I'm here to serve.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay. Pete, I guess we're going to turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Doctor. Very, very, very nice. I sincerely appreciate you, especially taking the time in lieu of having to head to another meeting in a moment. So thank you so much. Great presentation, very informational and helpful. Okay, well, our March meeting is coming to a close. And I'd like to remind all of you that we're back up, we're running. You'll be getting your dues renewal here soon. And we're looking forward to the Huntington Library next month in person for a fabulous, fun evening. So thank you all for joining tonight. Thanks again, Doctor, for your presentation. And to all you, good night.
Thank you and good night.